I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for a silent reflection and pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Jay.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Here.
Mrs. King?
Here.
Mr. O'Brien?
Here.
Mr. Schuler?
Here.
Mr. Tinkin?
Here.
Mr. Vorbach? Mayor Mechanico?
Here. Please read the Open Public Meeting Act.
Pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Borough Clerk, posted on the Borough website and in the municipal building, published as a legal notice in the Co-Star newspaper, and mailed to those requesting notice and providing payment in accordance with Borough policy.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
And
Second.
Second. Any questions? Roll call, Jay.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. No minutes at this time, no presentation. We don't have any public hearing. So we move right to the public comment section, where you may speak on any agenda item you like. Just step forward, give your name and address. And seeing no hands, close the public comments section.
Make that motion. Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we have a discussion item. Jay, would you like to go over this with the council?
Yes, Mayor, as you know, we met
Yeah.
late last week with representatives from the Borough of Spring Lake, Administrator Brian Dempsey, as well as Mayor Naughton and Councilwoman Venables. Venables, thank you. I think the letter from Mr. Dempsey is somewhat self-explanatory. In any event, for the benefit of the public, as I think everyone is aware, in the post-Sandy era, there are several items that have been looked at regarding Wreck Pond, and specifically what the locals refer to as Pier Beach. The existing pipeline provides limited flow of water in and out of Wreck Pond. Various studies have recommended that the inclusion of a secondary pipe would have many benefits, both in terms of flood control as well as the environmental health of Wreck Pond and its surrounding areas. As a result, the Spring Lake has identified funding available through the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for the construction or partial funding for the construction of a secondary pipeline through that area. And while the estimated total cost is in excess of some $4 million, about half of that is available from the Fish and Wildlife Service. The balance, Spring Lake is proposing to obtain a county grant from the county's open space program, and that program requires a 50% match. Spring Lake has requested the borough participate in the process in terms of endorsing and being a co-applicant, but with no financial obligation to provide the match. And specifically, I believe Mr. Dempsey's letter indicates that the Borough of Spring Lake has identified 3 lots that are being placed for sale that would provide them with the funding, presumably in the $1.5 million range, to provide the matching funds for the county grant. Essentially, Spring Lake has approached Seeger as well as Wall Townships, the other contiguous communities that have impacts through Wreck Pond, and so far both have expressed a willingness to participate. We're the 3rd stop on their request list. And be happy to answer any questions as best we can, but again, we provided the letter from Mr. Dempsey, the design options that are outlined in the proposal from Leonovakian Consulting Engineers. There is a cost estimate, and we've also included the Seeger resolution that was adopted last week, also committing to moving forward on this.
That was very thorough, Jay. Thank you. I left one thing out, I believe. They also, the mayor of Norton said also it would improve the fishing in that area.
Well, that is the interesting part of this, as evident from the funding, the federal funding coming from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. The real impetus on their side is that this would improve the water quality and the what I'll call the short pipeline versus compared to the existing pipeline would provide greater opportunity for fish to actually enter the pipeline into Rec Pond to provide hatchery for various species of fish that are beyond.
So I think what the mayor, Norton would like if she would have our consensus on here to write up a resolution to go in on this, yes.
So does the engineer or administrator have any recommendations on this or anything we need to be aware of beyond what's in the letter?
Not really. Joe and I attended 2 of their meetings early on. Joe, I don't know if you want to add anything. There, as with any project of this type, we were sitting at a table with representatives from U.S. Fish and Wildlife, 3 or 4 different offices from DEP, and we sat back and let them fight it out. But it looks like there is consensus that all environmental permits would be approved for this project. And again, our participation is that we would be basically signing on to it, approaching the county saying this is a regional application with regional benefits to Rec Pond area. And there's some indication, pretty good indication that the county would look favorably upon this type of a funding request.
Yeah, this resolution from Seagirt makes it pretty clear that Seagirt's not paying anything or ever on the hook, so to speak, if we're talking about fish, which I would imagine we would draft this very similar resolution. We support it, but we can't pay for it. Okay.
The one,
That's correct.
But how does it get funded if only
Matching grants.
Spring Lake
Well,
puts up money?
the application will carry greater weight if they get a regional support endorsement. So they're more likely to get funded on the grant side if they get a regional support letter from us.
Right, and they're gonna put up the match by selling property, so.
So the 50% is the max right now that they need to.
well, let me walk you through it. The estimate is about $4.5 million. Federal money is available through the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for $2 million. The balance would come half from the County Open Space Recreation Trust and the other half from Spring Lake.
And so basically nobody has to put any more money.
Except Spring Lake, just Spring Lake.
One and 3/4 million each.
I think it's a win-win.
So the pipe is shorter than the existing pipe, and it would allow tidal inflow?
In our meetings with Fish and Wildlife, there was discussions that herring only swim in 4 feet of water, so when they travel up the coast, when the pipe was too far out, they don't recognize it as at one time it was an inlet, so they don't recognize that, so they bypass it. So by having the pipe shorter in basically your bathing area, when you're swimming, you see small fish, similarly they go up the pipe into the direct pond.
What was the motivation for making the initial pipe so long that this one can be
Yes,
shorter?
that's a good question. I'm thinking the same thing, were the herring coming in when the pipe was shorter?
Because I thought, my understanding was the initial
Don't
pipe,
know.
they made it as long as they did to prevent
Well, I
onshore
believe that was
pollution.
probably, and I don't want to quote on this, but it probably lead towards keeping the quality of the swimming, beach quality. So if I put
Yeah, I
that
mean-
water-
Right.
at the time-
But will this shorter pipe now reduce the water quality? Did they try to improve the longer pipe?
That was part of the discussion, because we had, the beach road people saying, well, that doesn't help us with the beach, and the Fish and Wildlife, well, we want the pipe here. So that was why me and Jay sat and let them fight it out.
Was there any discussion of reopening that natural inlet that once naturally occurred there and made?
Lot of discussion, no consensus.
No
that-
consensus.
That it would be permittable under various environmental reviews.
Okay.
We should also mention that the piping plover constituency was also represented at the table. I'm not sure which agency that was, but they were there as well.
Well, if they want another pipe and they're gonna pay for it, I guess I'll support it.
There's discussions on putting lights in the pipes, and the fish know it's a natural waterway, so they've gotten away from that, so now there's gonna be open inlets so sunlight can get in, so they realize it's an open way, and it was quite interesting.
I mean, it seems to make sense to, if the beach is gonna block it, to put another pipe there to prevent flooding from something like
I think
Irene.
the ultimate goal is to have
But,
a dual system, where
yeah.
one's gonna take some water out and not pollute the beach, and the other's gonna allow for wildlife, so.
Okay, sounds
it's
good.
best of both worlds.
Mayor, then I will communicate that to Mr. Dempsey, as well as prepare for our next meeting a formal resolution to that effect.
Thank you, okay, thank you. Council reports. Councilman O'Brien, do you have anything to report, finance?
Other than we're voting on the budget tonight. That's it.
Councilman Schuler.
Yeah, I would like to comment on the outstanding job the Public Works Department did, the Police Department, and Joe May in that sewer fiasco we had the other night. Yes, a couple weeks ago. I think they responded well and did an outstanding job.
Thank you. Okay. What was the, what was the cause of that? Joe, what was the cause of that?
Age, I think.
Well, it's a combination of age
Sinkhole,
and, the force main right at that manhole from the exit to the police department, that's where it dumps into our gravity sewer, so there's a lot of gas reaction, and that just builds up in that pipe, and right there, we believe that caused the pipe to just rot away from the hydrochloric acid. That is a byproduct of sewage gas. So fortunately, it could have been a bad incident.
Okay.
I mean, the cavity was large enough to put a car in.
Yes.
So now what kind of pipe did they replace it with, Joe? Just
PVC, polyvinyl
PVC,
chloride.
okay,
Yeah.
PVC. All right. Thank you.
And we are going to inspect the rest of the pipes, right?
Yeah, we're getting quotes now to TV inspect the rest of it, because we don't have the capability to do it with, we have a small machine to do like house laterals, but
Yeah,
nothing of that magnitude.
okay.
Thank you. Councilwoman King.
I just want to take the opportunity to thank our police department and the fire company and all those who participated in a double event. We had opening day for Little League, and then we had the run for the school. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. It was quite an effort because they were back to back, and it certainly did tie things up a little bit, but everybody did a great job, and it was well attended on both events, and I thank you.
Councilwoman Cindy.
Just to thank the Public Works and the police as well for their response for the sinkhole, and also everything that you do every day.
Thank you. Councilman Timken.
Sure, Mayor. As you know, we had the first meeting of the Recreation Working Group tonight prior to this meeting. We took a look at all of the open space and parks in town and started to brainstorm some ideas specifically in terms of, we started to brainstorm some ideas specifically tonight for Allaire Road and the Fletcher property. We're going to meet again, trying for April 28th prior to our meeting here, and brainstorm some ideas and activities that we can get people to know some of our parks better. We do have quite a few open spaces and parks that are underutilized, and also brainstorm some ideas on ways to give them upgrades and facelifts. So that'll be on the 28th, and then hopefully we'll be able to come as a group and make some presentations to the council, so you know all what we've been working on, and a menu of options to consider going forward.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your work on that committee. Chris,
Thanks.
you're doing a good job. Thank you. Everybody have a chance to look at the notices and correspondence. Does anyone like to make a comment on anything? Jay, anything on there that you see stands out?
No, Mayor, just at some point, the resignation regarding the SMUA Southeast Monmouth Municipal Utilities Authority will require an appointment for that unexpired term as the borough's representative.
Okay. And
Does that have to be somebody that's on staff?
It does not have to be,
General.
although that has been the tradition. I think that organization, when it was formed 4 or 5 years ago, that has been the practice.
All right, thank you, Jay. Now, moving on to ordinance introduction. We have ordinance number 2014-3. This is the ordinance exceeding the municipal appropriation limit on the cap bank. We need
I'll make that motion.
a second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Do you have any question on ordinance number 2014-3 establishing the cap bank? Roll call, Jay?
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to the resolutions, we have resolution 2014-69. This is approving the introduction of the 2014 municipal budget.
Yes, Mayor, if I may, we've had a couple of discussions, most recently at our last regular meeting, and then we conducted a special meeting last month to review the presented budget. If I could take just 2 minutes of your time, there are a couple of changes.
You may take all the time you like, Jay.
When last we met, the consensus of the council was to move ahead with the introduction with the budget as presented. There was a suggestion that the one line item specifically, and I'm referring to the summary, the short form of the budget, page 5, line 11, that the salary item for mayor and council be reduced. That has been reduced, and it is clearly marked as highlighted. That has been reduced to $20,000, and the request from Mr. Tinkin was that that $3,000 reduction be split between the beautification committee and the environmental committee. That has been reflected. Line item 40 on that same page, the beautification committee line item has been increased. And moving to page 6 at line 33, the environmental commission other expense line has been provided for there. There was also a very minor adjustment in the total amount to be raised from taxes. It actually, when we met, we were looking at a 1 1/2 cent increase in the tax rate. That has been shaved very slightly to 1.48 cents. And I'll introduce John Barrett, our financial consultant, and explain the technical aspects of that. But for all practical purposes, the budget is the same as where we left it with a couple of minor adjustments.
Thank you, Council. The last page of the budget document, you're going to see what's known as the compensation appropriation for reserve fund collected taxes. The administrator has that broken out in his work papers as well. The end result is that we had a higher collection rate than we did in prior years. Simply put, last year, the result of operations, we had 97.54% of taxes collected. To the layman, that means that 2.5% of the taxes that we levy for the county, the schools, our municipality, were not collected. That's the reserve fund collected taxes. So in essence, what has to happen is that you need to assess 102% of the taxes that are levied in order to collect 100%. So the end result is that the original figure was 375. It has been reduced down to 373. That reduction is also transferred over on sheet 11 of the document for the amount to be raised by taxation. So as I said, the minister says it's a very nominal reduction, but it's going in the right spot. $2,000 less in taxes will collect for operations. So if you have any questions, please feel free to follow.
Wait, are you saying that if everybody paid their taxes, we'd have no tax increase at all, it'd be flat tax?
Well, the figure at this point, if we have 375,000 in the original, now we have 373,000 we need to add on to our budget on sheet 29 and transfer to sheet 30. Had everybody paid their taxes, we could reduce that appropriation in future years' budgets. But the reality is this: you have bankruptcies, you have other issues that will tie up the collection efforts of our tax collector during the fiscal year. So the reality is this: prior year you had 97.52%, now it's 97.54% that we collected last year.
How has we were supposed to get a figure as far as the tax appeals are concerned. Did we get that in?
No, we're probably expecting that at some point early May. We've made some assumptions that a penny on the tax is about $114,000. So we are moving forward with that. In discussions with the tax assessor, there aren't any kind of huge surprises that we're expecting in the net valuation.
So we've already made calculations as far as,
Well, we made
What-
assumptions based on what the dialogue with the assessor is, and we won't fully know that until we get the certified rate from the county.
and that's supposed to be,
In May, and then they'll take into consideration our levy and the levies of other entities and certify the rate probably in July.
and so, just to go over the vote for finalize the budget, when is that next meeting?
Oh, actually, just for the process, on sheet 2 of the budget document, after tonight, assuming everybody introduces this budget, I will be hand delivering to the state 2 copies of this budget and some other documents supporting this. They will then schedule a review. We will be assigned a review. They'll give us back comments like they do every year. We're not on a local review status issue because we were affected by Hurricane Sandy and the special emergency we had. At a later date, which will be May 12th, here, we'll have a budget hearing. So assuming that the Division of Local Governmental Services approves the budget as it's written, we will be able to adopt the budget at that date. We will have a budget hearing nonetheless on that date. If we need to make amendments based on their review, we'll have to see if we can amend that night and adopt, or it might require formal advertising if the changes are over the considered threshold. So we will, at that point, delay another 2 weeks to adopt, but regardless, you're going to have public comment. You wouldn't have public comment here tonight, based on this introduction, but at the public hearing, the public will be able to stand up and speak at any point in the budget.
And then that vote is fine.
Assuming
Don't have
that
another
clearance
vote
from
on
the state,
it to ratify it.
you vote on it that night, and it gets approved, and then we can send it to the state and county, so that we can actually get all our tax rates all together, and also a bill from the office.
But I think, if I understand your question, the introduction vote tonight is just that. It's a vote to introduce. We will then publish, hold a public hearing, after which there will be an adoption vote by the council that would be the final vote on the budget. And I will tell you that we frankly do anticipate there will be amendments to this budget prior to adoption. We know, for instance, that since we actually last met, we have received additional FEMA reimbursement that we will reflect in the budget. More than likely, it will have no tax impact, but it will allow us to pay off more quickly the deferred charge that we incurred when we adopted the special emergency after Sandy. You may recall that we had $140,000 of outside the budget expenditures that were authorized by way of a special emergency. We paid down $28,000 of that last year. This budget, as presented and sitting in front of you, anticipates paying that an additional $28,000 down. We anticipate that when we hold the public hearing, we will be proposing an amendment that will pay that down in full in this budget year, based on the reimbursement.
Great.
Now, as far as why is there a skip in a meeting for the final? Just for time, that we need time to get the stuff in?
We have to publish, there'll be a publication of the budget in CoStar, I believe, at the beginning of the month. It's all timed out based on state statute.
Okay.
The statute requires not less than 28 days between
So it gives us,
introduction and
it gives us
adoption.
the time,
Right.
okay. All right. That's all. Been a while.
Thank you. Thank you, John, thank you, Pat. Anyone else? I believe we did have a motion in a second, did we?
I don't show a motion second.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, Jay?
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I was amiss. I missed the previous meeting. I wasn't here for that budget meeting. I apologize for that. And I believe, Chris, you were in charge of that? Okay. I didn't hear anything negative or anything, so you must did a good job. Thank you. I'm sorry for not making that meeting. Thank you. All right, Resolution R 2014-70. This is authorizing additional temporary budget for 2014.
I'll make the motion.
Appropriation.
I'll second.
Any questions? A roll call, Jay?
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. A resolution R 2014-71, appointing Mr. Thomas Martin to the Board of Adjustment.
I'll make the motion?
Second,
Second?
any questions? Roll call, Jay?
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution R 2014-72, appointing Mr. Robert Cynthia to the Board of
Cynthia.
Adjustment. Motion and a second.
Make that motion?
I'll second it.
Any questions? Roll call, Jay?
Mrs. Cynthia?
Abstain?
Mrs. King?
No.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
No.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mayor, I reflect that that's a tie vote, 2 negative votes, 2 affirmative votes.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted with the mayor casting the deciding ballot.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
A resolution R 2014-73, awarding contract for the Lair Road, Ocean Road Park to Historic Construction for $351,224. And we'd like to thank Mr. May for this, for your work, Joe.
There's a couple things. I reviewed the attorney, the insurance requirements, and what we're gonna do is we're, depending on the council's preference, consider awarding it, but not sign the contract until they include some additional insurance language.
Additional insured endorsement.
Yes. Secondly, I think in your package, there may have been some photographs.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I was hoping that gave a clear understanding of what we hope to see out there. We will see
It
that.
looks
out there.
nice. It looks very
Thank you.
nice.
And
Thank
I think, I didn't include the swing set because it's a swing set,
Get it.
and,
I've seen one.
depending on getting those documents, I would anticipate sometime, realistically, mid-May, early May, getting out there
Good.
and starting that work.
Thank you.
Just for an update on the stream cleaning project, they started today on Rash Field. They'll be working there till the end of the week, and then moving to Ocean Road Park. I say Rash Field because we have an easement agreement to work on Wolf Township property, so we don't have to affect the apartment complex.
And what is the anticipated completion date of the park improvements?
The grant guideline is May 13th is our quote-unquote drop dead date.
Different project, Joe.
Uh,
You're referring
The,
to the park project.
The park, yeah.
That's, it's a 60-day project, I'm sorry, I was on the.
I thought, yeah,
He's
May
on the
13th, it's
Polypod
finishing
Brook.
before it begins.
Yeah, he's on the Brook project.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a 60 days, so depending on when they start the project, it's 60 days.
okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. We have a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Do you have any other questions? Roll call, Jay?
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. A resolution R 2014-74, awarding the contract pricing program to Game Time MRC for the playground equipment.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second.
any questions? Roll call, Jay.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. A resolution R 2014-75, supporting the passage of Assembly Bill 821, 1021, and Senate Bill S-268, requiring direct payment of energy taxes to the municipalities. I have a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Second.
Any
Third.
questions?
Thanks, Jay. Thanks for putting that on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
If only it were binding.
No, still make our voice heard.
Roll call, Jay.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution R 2014-76, approving the outdoor music permit to the Spring Lake Golf Club. Motion and a second, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any questions? Roll call, Jay.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution R 2014-77, confirming appointment of Mr. William Honordunk, is that how you pronounce that?
Mhm.
Thank you. As school crossing guard for 2013-2014 school year.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, Jay.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. I need a motion to move the bills to the finance committee.
I will make the motion to move the bills to the finance
I'll
committee.
second.
Any questions? Roll call, Jay.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution R 2014-78, approving the payment claims on the April 10, 2014 bills list.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any questions? Roll call, Jay.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. There's a point in meeting where public comment, where you may rise and speak on any item you like, just step forward, give your name and address.
Kathleen Crippen, 564 Atlantic Avenue. On behalf of the Environmental Commission, I just want to say that on Saturday, April 26th, we're going to be hosting an Earth Day cleanup at Black Creek Park. This is an annual event. You're certainly all welcome to come out and bring your rakes and your waders and canoes if you have them, and help us drag trash out of the ponds. No matter how many years we do this, the place fills up with trash. There's always more than enough work to do. So, and to piggyback on Dr. Tinkin's campaign to get the park straightened out, feel free. We will have our usual free hot dog, barbecue, and refreshments, and it's usually a fun day. So the rain date is Sunday the 27th, so hope to see people there.
I actually have to work that weekend, but I'm
You
gonna
always work,
tell
I know you do.
tell my wife. No, that's good, thank you. Thanks for doing that, Kat.
John.
Anyone else like to speak?
Jay, can we get that on the website?
It's the
Yes,
Thank you.
April
I don't know if there's a
26th.
flyer.
Kat, is there a flyer that goes with that, or could we?
I was
We're gonna
go-
post it on the website.
Yeah, I'm going to be sending a press release to the CoStar so I can give Jay a copy to
Perfect.
put on there.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak? No, seeing no hands, motion to close. We'll make that motion. Second. All in favor? Aye.
John
need a
Lewis is
motion
sitting there
here.
doing a crossword puzzle.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
John Lewis is sitting there doing crossword puzzles.
Oh, wow, you're leaving? You didn't get any more letters, did you? No. All right, good. Where are you going?